Hi everyone, I'm just on a couple minutes early so that I can get everything set up and ready to go. Let me check here how I totally have my paper off wrong here. Okay, let's move it a little bit. See, I told you I needed to move things because what I see in my camera and what you guys are seeing is two different things. Whoops. So I am trying to adjust here. Okay, I need to go up. Oh my goodness, I really need to adjust. So that is why I came early, so that I can do this adjustment. Okay, let's see here. So you're gonna see my mess around the side until I figure out exactly where. Thought I had it lined up right, but I am definitely off today, aren't I? Okay, let's see here. Okay, I'm actually gonna bring this down just a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. Let me tighten that up. Let's see. Let's do this. Flatten this, straighten this out, and see if that is a little better. Okay. Let me see here. Log on here. Oh, I forgot to shut the volume off on my computer. Gotta definitely do that. Okay. There, that looks better. There, I think you guys are going to be able to see better what I'm doing too. Alrighty. So let me just fix this stuff up here. Oh, hi, Chris. Thank you for joining. That's perfect. Awesome. Yay. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get started here. Welcome to my November Christmas card class. I'm glad you could join me today. We're going to be using, and of course I had it sitting here. And what did I do with it? Who knows? But oh goodness, what did I do with the stamp set? Here. This is the stamp set we're using. This is the Snowman Season stamp set. So we're going to be using these on all of our cards today. And you guys know how I love snowmen. So I have been very patient and haven't used snowmen in any of my projects. I should say my Christmas card classes until now. And of course, I'm going to devote the whole class to it. But I'm not sure if you saw my blog. I did new at Stampin Up blog hop. And look how cute these little snowmen are. Are these not adorable? I used my 3x3 acetate boxes and I just put a belly band. This is a fast and easy little project if you need it for someone. So of course we're doing Snowman stamp set. And I always give you guys a treat with my classes for my little thank you. So of course I had to make a little one. It says, oh, what yum. And if you open it up, there's a little snowman treat in here for thank you. I just love them. They're so cute. So that was your treat to this month. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, I got to quick tell you something. Look what came in the mail just like 5-10 minutes ago. The new catalogs. Look how pretty. And the celebration. Oh, they're just gorgeous. I can't show you anything inside, but I can quick show you the hat. And those will be coming out. If you don't already have a demonstrator and would like a catalog from me, just send me an email at stampinscraper. I know it's where I can't spell 13@gmail.com, or go to my blog stampinscrapper.com. So let's go ahead and get started. So today we're going to start with this card. So this is the packet you want to pull out. This is the one that we're going to be working on. So you need to pull out your one with the long blue on it and the long blue strips. Now, and you're going to need your pumpkin pie marker and your Night of Navy marker. Wink Stella, if you have it. And, yep, I think that's it that we need on this one. So, I wanted to show you on your white piece, I used the Winter Snow embossing folder. And we also use for the silver snowflakes, I use the So Many snowflake dies, and there is a stamp set that goes with this, and so I wanted to show you those. So let's get out our packet here. Now I'm going to be showing you one of everything. Your packets include 3 of each one. but we're just going to do one. So you need to get out one of the big long blue ones, another one of the skinnier blue ones, and then we're going to need, oh, and on these, this is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And this one is, let me get my cheat sheet out. This is, I did this one, let me think here. 1 3/4 at 11, and I scored it at 2 3/4, 5 1/2, and 8 1/4. Then you're going to need 2 sheets of Whisper White. One will be embossed, one will not be. And those are both at 4 by 5 1/4. A piece of Designer Series paper. This is at 4 by 5 1/4. So let me go ahead, move these out. And then we're going to have our silver foil, and that is cut at 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. Your blue is going to be cut at 1 by 5 1/4. Then we're going to have this navy blue that's cut out with the layered squares. And that you're going to cut out at 3 by 3. And you're going to take 2 of your snowflakes. So we're going to need 2 snowflakes. And one of your white ones, I cut that out with the stitch-shaped dies. And let's see. Oh, we need 2 of our silver, and these are cut at 2 by 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. And you're going to need 1 of your Designer Series paper, and that is cut at 2 by 2. And then 1 of the little white ones, and that is also cut at 2 by 2. So there's a lot of, on this one, there is a lot of pieces, but it's really not difficult, I promise. I had class last night, and my ladies had no problem making this card. So I'm going to put my envelope up here. Okay, so I'm going to put this right here, and I think you should be able to see it while we're working. So what we're going to do is, first of all, let's do our stamping first. So we're going to get out the white one that's already cut with the stitch dies. You need your small white one, and you're going to need your square DSP. Now we're going to be using black ink on this. So we're going to get out our black ink, and we are going to need our Let It Snow. We're going to need our the little snowman. And we're going to need our big snowman. Now we're going to be using our big snowman on all of our projects today, so keep that one out. We will be using him every time. So go ahead and put your other things on the side, and so we can go ahead and get our stamping done first. Okay, so what we want to do is, let's start with our big guy. This one, we're going to put our snowman on here. We're going to stamp him right here. So we're going to go ahead and ink them up. Now, you can ink them up this way, or what I like to do to make sure that I have them inked up good is I go ahead and I hold it like this, and I'm twisting, and I'm getting it on my hands. And you know what? I did not grab wipes. Let me grab some wipes here. I forgot to grab those. Whoops. Of course, I get ink on me first thing because I didn't have my wipes by me. Okay. So I'll get the ink off us. All right. And I forgot my chamois, so I'll be using wipes to clean all my ink pads today. I mean, my stamps. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this on here. And I just centered it. I put him more towards the bottom because of the ground. And just put him on here and stamp. And push him down real well. Make sure. And up. And perfect. So just go ahead and put that off to the side because we're done with him right now. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our little one and we're going to get ink all over it. So I'm going to flip it over. And that's one thing that's nice is when you get ink on things, you can flip them over. You make a mistake, flip it over. So I don't know why I closed that. We're going to be using this. We're going to use the little guy. Now, this is the card. I guess it shall, I hope so. I open the card and show it to you, huh? So this is the front of our card. I was so excited to get started. Hi, Cheryl. Thank you. And when you open it, look, how cool is this? Look at, isn't that cool? It's such a fun fold. And we're going to be doing 3 fun folds today. So I'm really excited about that. But right now we're going to stamp him. So I'll open him up, this up so you can see. We're going to stamp this little guy right here. And we put him on here. 1, 2, 3. Lift up. Oh, sometimes with these little guys, you got to pull it off. And there you go. Perfect. Now we're not, oh, yep, I am going to use him. So I'll leave him out for a second. Actually, if you want to, since we have him, grab your envelope. And I'm going to put him, let's see. Let's put him on the bottom. We'll do him on, or you can put the bigger snowman on it if you want to. But I'm going to put him on the bottom. Oh, cute. Okay, now you can clean him because we're not going to be using him. I don't think we use him again in any of our cards. I think he was just used on this card, if I remember correctly. So put him off to the side. Okay, so now we're going to take our DSP and we're going to take our Let It Snow. Now, I tried this with the Night of Navy ink and it just didn't show very well. So we're going to go ahead and use the black ink, and that way too you just use one color on this whole card, and I just stamped it in the middle. Now, if you don't like the Let It Snow and you have a Merry Christmas or something, go for it. Use it. It's your card. If you want to change the design of it, go for it. As I tell my ladies, do whatever your little heart desires. It's your card. Okay, so we're done with our stamping, so we can put that away. We're good. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do our coloring. So that has time to dry while we put together. We're going to get out that orange paper pumpkin pie. I almost said paper pumpkin. Pumpkin pie. And we're going to color his nose. Now, you can use the paintbrush part. That's this, and it has a thicker line. Or you can use the point, the smaller point, and that has the thinner line. Most of the time, I color with my paintbrush end. Now, if you don't have these colors in the markers, you can also use your Stampin' blends. Will work too, either one. Hi, Pam. Thank you for joining. Oh, thank you for sharing. Yes, if all you guys could share it, that would be great. I would appreciate it. So that's all we do on these 2 little guys is his nose. How easy is that? So you're going to go ahead and our envelope can go off to the side. Just move him up. You can put him by the Let It Snow. So let's work on this little guy. Okay, I'm excited. I think I'm going too fast. So I'm going to slow down. I just love these cards, so I'm excited to do this. Okay. So what we're going to do on this little guy is we are going to be just painting his scarf and his hat. So I did every other one, but like I said, do what you want and color it the way you want to color it. If you want to add more colors, go for it. Less colors, go for it. It's whatever your little heart desires. To me, coloring is so calming. I love to do it. Oops. Oh, I just got a little bit over on that side. That's okay. Okay. Now, if you want to, you can also fill in his hat. I did not on this one. On some of them I did, some of them I did not. But one thing I do want to do is I want to add Wink Stella to him. So I'm just going to put a little bit on each of my snowflakes. I just dot a little bit on there. And then I came in here and I colored his hat. Now, when you're using Wink Stella and you have markers, you want to make sure that you are staying away from the color, like the blue. It doesn't do it so much with the blue, but like with the red, if you touch the red, you may get a little bit of red on here, and then it's going to color. So if you do, just take your brush like this and clean it. And same thing when I'm doing his face. I just do it lightly. I don't go all the way up to the nose. I just do it gentle. And it's just a light brush that I'm doing. And I do the little tree just to get him some sparkle. Who doesn't like sparkle? And I just brushed a little bit down here. And that's all you do. So we're going to set him off to the side so he can dry. Now comes the fun part, is assembling this little guy, this card. So I'll let you guys quick color. So I'll give you a little bit because I'm kind of a fast colorer. So I will slow down here just a minute and let you guys get ready to take your pieces out. Okay, so we're going to take the card base and fold it in half. Now remember to line up your edges here. And then you're going to bring them. So I line up my edges. I stick my finger here. I take my bone folder and I go straight down the middle. And then I go out and out. So if my score mark isn't perfect, now it will be. Hi, Brittany. Thank you for joining. I miss you, girl. We haven't seen each other in so long. So there you go. And our card's going to open this way. So now we're going to take on our front. We are going to use the one that I embossed with the winter snow embossing folder. So you're going to go ahead and attach that. And remember my other little trick, if you don't know it, I'll tell you. Line up, so these three sides should be the same distance. So when I put it on here, all three sides are the same amount. I'm going to put my finger here and I'm going to drop it. And it looks pretty good, and flatten it, and you've got it perfectly lined up, ready to go. Oh, thank you, Brittany. You're so sweet. Okay, so now you're going to take your long silver piece, and my lights, I'm trying new lighting here today, so there's lots of lights all over. So it might glare on the silver. But then you're going to take your Night of Navy, and you're going to go ahead and attach that to your silver. Now, this is going to go end to end, so you're only going to have the silver on the top and on the bottom. There we go. And then we're going to attach it to here on our card base. Now, I am OCD, and you guys all know that. So I use my grid paper a lot for centering, to make sure things are centered. So I'm going to line up my side and my bottom. And I'm just holding it here. I'm not putting it down or anything. So I'm thinking it's about, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I'm off. Okay, let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that looks good. So I'm going to go right there. So I'm going to go half here, half here. And so when I bring it over, I can make sure it's half and half, especially if you line it up straight. Oops. There we go. And then it is straight. Lay it down. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to take, we're not going to put our little guy on yet. We're going to come back to this one first. So what I want you to do now is to open up your card. So we're going to open it up, and we're going to take our designer series paper, and you can use either side. I like the snowflakes, so I'm using that side. And I'm going to attach this on the left-hand side. I'm going to do the same thing, making sure all three sides are the same. There we go. Perfect. Alrighty. Now take your the plain white one, the one that we didn't emboss, and you're going to do this on the right-hand side. And you want to make sure you put this piece in, because this is where you write your sentiment up on the top and the bottom. And there you go. So now let's set that off to the side for a little bit and get out your 2 silver squares. We're going to take our little guy and our designer series paper, and we're going to attach that to our silver squares. And then you're going to put it on here. Okay, now you can do this two ways. Last night we attached, because I had this class last night. Last night we attached them on here first before we attached it to here. Today I'm going to do a little different, but we need to fold this. So see how this is a M, or you flip it that way, it's a W. So we want to fold on your left side, fold in, fold back, fold in. Now I did not do this tight because there's a reason. I just wanted to do it that way so I could see which way I needed to go. Then I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to make sure these are straight. So I'm lining up my sides to make sure they're straight. And I'm going to go in and then I'm going to use my bold folder. And I'm going to do the next side and I'm going to make sure that they're lining up and then do my bone folder. Again, line it up. Now this one, if you look at mine, see mine's off a little bit. So it means I'm off on my score line. So I'm going to line that up so they're even. I'm going to hold it like this and I'm going to bring down to the center. Yep, it's still there. And then I'm going to push down. And now it's all lined up. And so you should have this. You should have a W. Okay, so then what you're going to do, now I want to make sure that these sides right here are going to stick and that they're not going to come off because you're going to be opening and closing them a lot. So I'm going to use our Stampin' Seal Plus on this. So I want it to go this way because I want that center in the center right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just put it on the ends here. Now with this, you don't need a whole lot. Okay, so then I'm going to take my card base here. Again, I'm going to use my grid paper. Let's see if I can get this over here so you can see. I'm going to use my grid paper to line it up. Oops. There we go. I only want this piece. There we go. I just need this one. All right. If I remember correctly from last night, there was 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe it was 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 5. Now, this you're going to take all the way to the very end. Your ends are going to line up. So I'm just laying it there. I'm gently, like I can lift it up. And then I'm going to come over and I'm going to bring it over to the other side and do the same thing. But I'm not going to press it down hard yet. So I want to, get by the camera. So I want to do this, bring it over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to go right there. Gentle. And it's gently down. So they're just gently down right now. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take this, you're going to bring it up and see, make sure that when you close it, excuse me, so when you close it, it's even, that it doesn't peek through. Mine's good. So I can go ahead now and press it down. So I'm just closing the whole thing and pressing it down. And then come back in here and press it real good. And that is set. Now we can go ahead and decorate. So let's go ahead and put on our squares. Now you're going to want to put these in the middle, your adhesive in the middle only. Because you don't want it up here on the top and bottom because it will stick to this. Which I guess it would be okay because that's stuck to it. And I'm just centering it and press it down. So then we're going to do this little guy and do the same thing. I'm centering it. Now, this is, oh, mine moved a little bit. Let me make sure. Yep, it's still good. So we're good to go. So this is not going to be totally flat because we have it coming out. So I'm just holding it here a little bit. And this is why we don't want to make sure on this one that you're not putting it in the on the edges because you want this one to be able to bend. So now we have our 2 snowflakes. Now I have found that the easiest way to put these snowflakes on is with our glue dots. But if you look, this is the size of our glue dot, but this is the size of the center They're not the same. So what I do is I take the glue dot and I take it and I roll it into a little ball. Whoops. So it's in a little ball. Take it off there and I stick it in the middle. Number one, you can't see it now because it's small. Number two, that's going to pop it just the tiniest bit off your paper. So I want to, again, I'm just going to press it down. This guy's going to go up, but that's okay. And I'm just going to put it on here. And again, I'm centering it and push it down. And I'm going to do the same thing for my next one. So I'm going to take it off, roll it into a ball, put it back on, put it here. And sometimes if it's still too big, I roll it into a smaller ball and then put it here. And there you go. So that is for the inside. Oops, I'm not sure. Oh, here it is. I don't want to poke myself. So that is for the inside. So we're going to close it up again. And now we need to finish off our card. So we're going to take our white and we're going to adhere it to our the blue square that is scalloped. And just put it on here. Now you're not going to see a lot of the blue on here, but that's okay. We just wanted a little bit of color. Now with this one, I popped it up with dimensionals. I always put them in the four corners. I go a little wild with my dimensional and I stick one in the middle usually, just because I don't want it to sink. Now I take mine off like that. I do want to show you another trick on how to get the backings off these. If you take your pick tool, poke it in and lift it up, it comes right off. So then you don't get it on your fingers. Okay, but there is something sticky on this cap. There we go. All right, so we're going to take that, and again, we're going to center, and this I'm just eyeballing. And there you go. And you got your first card done. Woohoo! Isn't it cute? And then we open it up. Whoever gets your card, they're going to go, oh, wow, this is so cool. I do have to say my ladies love this card. Now, I can't take credit for this layout. I did not create all of this. I did find that online somewhere. I don't remember where, but I did design the rest of this. So, and then there's your envelope to go with it. Now, I just colored his nose. If you wanted to color him more, you could if you wanted. It's all up to you. So that's card number 1. I'll let you guys finish up while I grab the next card. The next packet you want to get out is this one. We're going to be using Pacific Point ink. We're going to be using Pumpkin Pie, Pacific Point, Pool Party, and I think I added Balmy Blue, but I'm not sure. So I grabbed it just to show you, but you can use the Pool Party in the area that I'm going to show you. Okay, let me get out my cheat sheet here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get out our paper. This is the card that we're going to be making, and this is another fun fold. So you're going to open it like this. How cool is that? Isn't that cute? And it's an easy card. It truly is easy. Okay, let me clean up my mess here. So you're going to take out. Now you should all have these little snowflakes. So you want to make sure you have those and put them off to the side. I am actually going to put mine right over here so I know right where they're at, because I have a habit of losing those. Okay, so I want one envelope. I'm going to take one piece of this is the long piece of Whisper White. It's 3 3/4 by 11, and it's scored at 5 and 10. So let's see. Then we are going to take, you're going to need 2 pieces of your Pacific Point, and those are at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Oops, come on, I need one more. And then your Designer Series paper, and I am using Snowflake Splendor on this one, and I use that on another card too. As you can tell, I have a lot of this paper left from my holiday extravaganza, so that's why we're going to be using it on today. Snowflake, snowman, go together. But you're only going to need one of those. You're going to need a thin strip of your designer series paper. You're going to need, the thin strip is, what size did I make that? 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I think I cut those a little long, so I'm going to show you how to put it on so we can trim it. And the pool party is 1 by 4. And these are cut with the layering oval front dies, and that's Pacific Point. And then this oval is cut with the stitch shaped frame dies. I still call them frame sometimes, but they're dies. So I'm going to go ahead and put my other pieces away. Whoops. Okay. Maybe I am. Okay. Excuse me one moment, please. Alrighty. Okay, so let's do our stamping. So we're going to take this little guy here, and we need our white piece and our envelope. So let's go ahead and let's do our little guy first. I keep calling these guys little guys. We want our snowman, and we're going to do the one with the tree. So we need our black for this. And I'm also going to put him on our envelope this time. So we'll go ahead and ink him up. And I'm going to put him up. And now I went up, I want to say about maybe an inch. I just tried to kind of center him on here. There wasn't no rhyme or reason of how I put him on there. That's how I put him on. And then, like I said, I'm going to go ahead. Oh, I usually do this the other way, but that's okay. On the envelope, and I'm going to put him here in the corner. Now, for your envelope, you can leave him as is, like that, or you can color him when we color the next, when we go ahead and color this guy, you can color your envelope too. It's totally up to you what you want to do. So we're going to go ahead and let these dry a little bit, and we'll get our other stamping done. So for our other stamping, and I'll give you a minute here to get on your blocks, you're going to need the Merry Christmas, and you're going to need the Hoping the Season Builds Heartwarming Hearts. Now, I just noticed something on mine, and I want to show you something on my block. Well, you guys are getting your stamps out. I noticed that there's it looks like a piece of glue dot or adhesive on it. So how do you get that off? Well, you take an alcohol wipe and you just clean it off like that. And I noticed we're going to use this for red too. So I noticed that there's still red on here. So I'm just going to go around here and clean it off. But if you get red on your blocks, or they get really dirty like that from either ink or your oil from your hands, adhesive, just take an alcohol wipe and wipe them off. Or if they get really dirty, you can wash them with Dawn dish soap. Or someone had told me they stick theirs in their dishwasher and just put them in there and clean them. Now, I haven't tried that. I might actually do that after this weekend, because I have lots of stamping going on this weekend in my craft room. So maybe I will try that and let you know how it comes out. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to stamp our blue. Now, this is the bottom part right here. That's this part. And this is the next section. And then this is going to be your little section. So the part on the bottom, that's what we're going to do first. We're going to stamp the Hoping Your Holidays are, Hoping This Season Builds Heartwarming Memories. And we're going to use a Pacific Point ink for that. So we're just going to stamp that. I did mine kind of to the top, but you can put it in the middle if you want. It's totally up to you how you want to do that. leave that, if you have enough blocks, leave that on your block because we are going to use this, I believe, in another card. I know we're going to use the Merry Christmas in another card. Then I'm going to move this down, and in this section here, I'm going to use Merry Christmas. That looks good. And again, I'm going to center. Now, I could have had you fold the card first so it would be easier to reach that. But what I found was that the card, the paper doesn't lay totally flat. So sometimes I was noticing when I was doing it that the paper would come up a little bit before I was ready to push it down. And one time it actually moved when I pushed down onto it. So it smeared the same. So that's why I have not had you fold this yet, if anyone is wondering that. So on our bottom here, I want you to take that thin piece of Designer Series paper. We're going to go ahead and we're going to adhere this to the bottom edge right here. But like I said, I think I cut these a little too long. I did. So what we're going to do is we're going to trim these. Get out my scissors, but we're going to trim that just a little bit like that. Perfect. So that's why I had you put that on now, because it's easier to trim it now than it is when it is adhered to the card. Ask me how I know that one. Okay, so now we can go ahead and fold. So we're going to fold this in half like we always do. Now I'm flipping mine over because I want to make sure that it's lined up straight because I have this extra piece here. So I'm going to fold it. Great. And then on this piece here, this little piece, fold it back. So your paper should look like this. See our card? Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and I want you to take out just one of your Pacific points. And we're going to be adhering this back section. The section that has your Designer Series paper on it. So I want you to put adhesive just on this back panel. Oops. Okay. So now I'm folding it like this because I want it to, so I can see the size it is, so I can center it. I turn mine a lot to the side to make sure that it is easier for me to handle and to put in here and make sure it's lined up. Now you're going to have a bigger gap around here because this is cut a little bit smaller than our normal. That looks good. And then press it down. Okay. So now we're going to go, let's decorate the top first. Let's decorate this first. So go ahead and take your big piece of Designer Series paper and you're going to adhere that to the front of your other piece of Pacific Point paper. How's everyone doing out there? Is everyone having a good Saturday? Has anyone bit the bug to put up Christmas decorations? I have to say, I was one of them that did. I don't have them all up. I do have a lot of them. I don't have my tree up yet. And my daughter is moving out. Not next weekend, the weekend after that. In 2 weeks, Thanksgiving weekend, she's moving out. So part of my house I can't decorate because she has her stuff in there. So I will be doing that later. So I'm kind of doing it in stages this year. So now we're going to take our pool party strip and we're going to put this in the center. Now this one I did not measure. Believe it or not, I didn't. I just eyeballed it. But if you want to, you can. I just kind of put it, oh, this looks good. I put it in the center. There. Great. So we need to color our little guy. So let's go ahead and we're going to use orange for his nose. Let me bring this in. And I use Pacific Point on the bigger sections of his hat. So the bigger sections of the stripes. And this one, I did color his hat in. There. Okay, whoops. Okay. Then I went in with the pool party, and I went in between. Now on him, see how light his pool party is? But when I made these last night, it seemed really light, real dark. So I'm wondering if I used, no, I did not use Balmy Blue. So we'll try it again. Maybe I just didn't press real hard. But just lightly go in here, on here, and put a little, and this is just to show a little bit of the snow. Then I came back in with my Wink of Stella, and I put it on his hat, his face, and his belly. There we go. This is a new Wink of Stella, so I know it's working. I'm sure it's hard to see. It's hard for me to see with all the lights, but I'm sure it's hard for you guys to tell that it's on there. And then I came in and I just did the bottom here. Okay. With my lights, I can't tell if it's working. You know what? We're going to prime that a little bit. Come on. There we go. I don't think when I started it enough. There we go. Much better. Now I'm getting more. And then I just did a little bit on the snowflakes. So, I forgot we need to let him dry. So put him off to the side, and we're going to, I'm doing this in a little bit different because I forgot to color him earlier. So we're going to go back to this. And now, this is a key point that I want to make sure you guys do correctly, or it will mess up your card. You want to put only adhesive on this little flap right here. Don't put it on the back of your card. You only put it right here. So again, because we're going to be lifting this a lot, I'm going to use the stronger adhesive of the Seal Plus. Now, to put this on, so you have your adhesive here, put it on your right-hand side, and I am going to go in here, and I'm going to line up these corners, because this is going to fit perfectly over the top of this. So you want to line it up here. I got it lined up, so I'm putting my finger right here. I'm going to tuck this in and bring this down, at the same time holding this in place and lining it up as I go. Make sure it's all lined up where I want it. Yep. Then press it down. And then it will open correctly. Woohoo! So now we're going to put our snowman onto our oval. Hi, Veronica. No decorations yet, but Hallmark Channel. Oh, you bet you. You bet that Hallmark Channel's on a lot. New movies tonight and tomorrow night. But I have to tell you, one thing that I absolutely love at Christmas time is having the tree and the other lighted decorations on. And in our kitchen, because our back of our house is the kitchen, the breakfast area, and our family room. In the kitchen, my husband has this beautiful village set that he puts on top of the cupboards. And so we put that on, and just that on. I love to sit there with my coffee or my hot chocolate, Hallmark movie on, just the lights on, nothing else, no other lights, just the Christmas lights. Oh, I love it every year. I just sit there and I'm in heaven when I do that. It is so calming to me. I love it. And sometimes I have to say I fall asleep down there too doing that, but it is wonderful. And I think this year, with everything that's going on, people need Christmas and Christmas decorations so much. It's been such a tough year for so many people. All righty. Whoops. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to center this. And I did put dimensionals on this. I centered it. And there you go. Voila! So if you want to, you can easily go ahead and color your little guy on the snowman on your envelope if you want. Now, if you are using stamping blends for your coloring, make sure that you stick in your envelope a piece of scrap paper that's going to fit in this corner. The reason is because blends will bleed through. And if it bleeds through, it's going to go on that scrap piece of paper. It's not going to go on the back of your envelope, so you don't have to worry about that. So go ahead and we'll just, I am doing this quickly, and like I said, you don't have to do the envelopes if you don't want to. It's up to you. Come in here with the pool party. And there you go, and your envelope's done. Now, I wouldn't put waste my Wink of Stella on the outside of it. You can if you want. It's totally up to you. But there is that card. Yoo-hoo! I love it. I just love that card. I like how it opens. It's different. Okay, card number 3. We're just booking along here. Okay. So this is the card we're going to be doing. So you want to have out this packet. And we're going to need real red and our pumpkin pie. We're going to use this guy, and we're going to be using our Merry Christmas. So this guy's fun because he opens up like this. And I have to tell you a funny story about that paper right there. Just a minute. I'll go ahead and get that out. I need to quick take a drink. Take your other card back out. Your last card. I just realized we never put our snowflakes on it. Oh my goodness, I totally missed doing our snowflakes, our little snowflakes. You guys have these little snowflakes right here. So you just take them, and I put 3 on each one. I put it on this little snowflake here. And I did this one by his hat. And I did this one by his arm. But you can put them wherever you want. So you have enough in there for all 3 of your cards. If you are one of them that has the long strip of 8, there is another little one in there somewhere in your packet, because I didn't know how to count that day. So I had to add 1. And I was teasing the ladies last night that I need to go back to kindergarten to learn how to count, because obviously I don't know how to count to 9. Okay. So this is what we need today. So this is going to go on our real red. I think you can see that. Can you guys see that? And this is going to be our black. This is our card we're going to make out. So let's pull out our paper here. You are going to need an envelope, of course. Now this card is pretty simple to put together. So you need your Whisper White, and this is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it at 3 1/2 by 9. Your envelope. Your pear pizzazz is 3 3/4 by 4 1/8. Your other pear pizzazz is 1 7/8 by 4 1/8. And then I use the layering circle dies to cut out the circle. And your designer series paper is 3 1/4 by 4, 1 3/4 by 4. Your Whisper White is going to be 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, but I cut this out with the 2 1/4 inch circle punch. So that is what you're going to need for this card. So let me put these back in here. Now, my funny story about this paper. So I had worked on a project earlier in the season. I know it was in October. And I had cut out a bunch of these to use, except for I wanted to use this side of the paper, not this side. But what did I do? I put the adhesive on this side. And it wasn't on 1. It wasn't on 2. It was on 10 pieces of paper. And I went, no. So what I did was I my craft table. You can't see it right here, but it is our old countertop from our kitchen. And so I stuck it all along the edge. And I'm like, I got to come up with something with this paper. I got to come up with some of this paper. So if you are one of the people that when you open your packet and these are already put together like this, it is because they already had adhesive on them and I put it on there for you. So you didn't have to do it, which is kind of cool, actually. But I designed this card around this paper. So that's how this card became. So, okay. Now, let's do our stamping. We are going to, let's put those off to the side. We need our circle first. We're going to use our snowman again with the tree. Now, when you go to stamp this, this is one time I'm going to be particular about where you put your stamp. You want to make sure he doesn't fit 100% on here, as you can tell, but make sure his hat's in there so that you don't put it up. Don't worry about the bottom. We want to make sure that his hat is in. So, and I've been talking, and I'm going to just freshen up this ink one more time. So I'm going to make sure the hat's in there. Okay, I need to bring this down a little bit so I can see because I'm too short. And with all these lights. Okay. And press it down. And there you go. Whoops. Speaking of lights, I just whacked one. So, although I think it's brighter, I have to say I'm looking at, on the screen, it looks brighter than it's been. So I think this new lighting arrangement might be working better. Okay, so now on your white piece, we're going to be folding this. You want to fold up this side, the little piece here. We're going to fold up. The big piece, we're going to fold down. And so it's going to close like this. But we're going to open it up. And in this section right here, in the big middle section, we are going to be stamping Merry Christmas in the real red. Now, if you don't have the real red, you can easily use the black if you want to. Or you can even use the Pear Pizzazz. If you have that one instead of the red, you can use whichever color you have. I think the colors in this paper are the real red, the black, the white, and the Pear Pizzazz. They're what I have on this one. Okay, so we can close the red. We're done with that. And we're done with the Merry Christmas. So we are all done with that. Okay, so I'm going to set that off to the side. Let's bring in our snowman and let's get him colored so that he can dry. So I'm just using red and white. So I'm putting red on his hat and the stripes are going to be the white. I also did color his hat this time. Alrighty. And then we're going to do his nose. Now, because we're going to add Wink of Stella, we're going to wait because I want to make sure that red is very dry before we add our Wink of Stella. So we're going to just push him off to the side. And you know what we didn't do? We didn't stamp our envelope. This time, you know what? This time I'm going to put Merry Christmas on it instead of a snowman. Let's see. Do I want to use the red? Yeah, well, I'll use the red. I have it still out. If you don't, you can use the snowman if you want, or the black. I'm just putting it in the center on the front of the card. Now, also, if you happen to be doing an envelope or a card that you don't, oh my gosh, I just got ink all over my ink pads. If you don't have a stamp that was good for outside of your envelope, like if you you don't want to put happy birthday on the outside of your envelopes if you are mailing them, because that is a sign that there might be a gift card in them. And so sometimes people will take those. So you don't ever want to put happy birthday on the outside of your cards. But what you can do is take designer series paper and put it on your flap here. And you just take a strip. I believe this is, let me grab my ruler. I think you cut it at, you want to cut it at 2 1/4 by 5 3/4. Cut a piece of your designer series paper and put it on the back of your envelope. And it's a great way to decorate your envelope without having to put a stamp on it. Because remember, we don't want to send out naked envelopes. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our card together. Okay, that's done. We can put that off to the side. So we're going to get our Pear Pizzazz paper. And now if you want to use the other sides of this paper, go for it. It is your card. You can do what you want. And that is so not straight. Now, one thing I will say about the stamping seal is it does, this is so weird. It holds better than our old snail, but it comes off the paper so much easier than the snail, which it doesn't make sense to do that, but it does. Okay, so let's try this again, shall we? There. Okay. And then put our little piece. Okay, you just saw me flip my Pear Pizzazz, and you're probably wondering, why did she flip it? Okay, the reason is, when we cut on the trimmer, on the Stampin' trimmer, sometimes the blade will push the paper down, so it has like an edge on it. And I saw that on one side, so I didn't want that, so I flipped it over. But what you can do is, if you get that little edge, take your bone folder and just go over your edges like this, and it will push it right down, so you don't have to worry about that. So now we're going to go and we're going to adhere this to our card base. So we want this on the bottom part. And then we're going to adhere this one. And I have another trick to show you too that I just learned like a day or two ago. And I'm like, why didn't I ever think of this? And I actually learned it from Connie Stewart, another demonstrator, a fabulous demonstrator. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to adhere this guy onto our snowman, onto our these are Pear Pizzazz paper or circle. Okay, so now this is my little trick for you guys. So we have our paper here, right? And we're like, okay, how do we know where to put this? Because we only want to put adhesive on the bottom. We don't want it on the top. We want it on the bottom. So how do we do that? Well, this is her trick. So you take this, and so here's the bottom. We know that's going to go here, like it's going to go like this, right? So we're going to flip it over, keeping that on the bottom. We're going to flip it, and we're going to hold it right here. So that is where I want it to go. So now I'm going to put my dimensionals on here, and guess what? They're exactly where I want them. I'm not guessing. That's where they go. And why didn't I think of that years ago? I don't know, because I would sit here and go, okay, I want it here. I'm going to line it up. I'm going to do this. But nope, she just flipped it over, put her adhesive on, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. Okay, so now I'm going to put it on here. And guess what? My adhesive is right where I want it. Voila. There we go. How cool is that? There's your card. Woohoo! And that is card number 3. And I saved our easiest card for last. So how cool is that? You know what? I need to push that one down a little bit more to get it so it lays flatter. There we go. There. Much better. Okay, let's go on to card number 4, shall we? Okay, our last card packet. You are going to need for this one, this is going to be our card that we're going to make. You're going to need your black ink, our snowman, our Let It Snow, and I think that's it. I didn't put anything inside, but you know what? I'm going to add, just because we have the Merry Christmas, I'm going to add that to the inside, my Merry Christmas. So we need to pull out your packet. Now you're going to have little snowflakes in there again. Don't forget you need your little snowflakes. Oh, I need to put that up. Okay, so we're going to grab an envelope. Oh, and then we're going to have here 5.5 by 8.5, and we're going to score this at 4 1/4. Then your Pacific Point is 3.5 by 4 3/4. Your Designer Series paper is going to be 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. Our Whisper White is going to be 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. I cut this out with the Stitch Shapes dies. Their little blue piece is going to, Pool Party is going to be 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. Again, I cut that out with the same dies. Okay. Both in there. There we go. Okay. All right. So with this one, again, let's get our stamping done first. We're going to get out our snowman. We're going to do on the white square. Ink up our snowman. Okay, and we are done with him, so I'm going to wash him up. So we're all done with that stamp. And then on our small one, we're going to put Let It Snow. I need to move this over. And I'm putting it in the middle. Set that up. Again, we're done with that one, so we'll put that away, clean it up. And then we're going to do the Merry Christmas. And I'm going to stamp the Merry Christmas on the inside of my card. Now remember, the inside of our card is going to have the mountain. The valley goes on the outside, so I am just going to flip it over. I haven't burnished it yet. I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this. And I'm going to put Merry Christmas in the middle. There we go. Perfect. I like that. Oh, you know what? We got to do our envelope. So I'm going to go ahead, since I have it right here and I haven't cleaned it yet, I'm going to put Merry Christmas. But this time, I'm going to put it on the back flap. So when I go stamp on the flaps, I usually lay mine out like this so it's flat on here. And Merry Christmas. There we go. Cool. And you know what? I was just thinking, in that stamp set, gosh only knows what I did with the stamp set again. Oh my goodness. Where is my stamp set? I'm not supposed to have that stamp set. But there are snowflakes, I believe, in that stamp set. Oh, got it. I had set it over here. Okay, snowflakes. There are snowflakes in this stamp set. Let me grab a little block. Just had this idea in my head, so why not do it? So what I'm going to do is add some snowflakes right here and right there. Oh, I like that. Okay, so then we're all done with our stamping. That's it for stamping. Okay. So we can set this off to the side to dry. Okay, this is dried enough so we can go ahead and fold it in half and burnish it. And then we'll do our coloring. Okay, so let's do, let me put this here so you can see what we're going to work on. Let's do our coloring. So we need our pool party and our paper, I keep wanting to say paper pumpkin, our pumpkin pie. So we're going to go ahead, and you know what? We did not put Wink of Stella on our guy. We will do it when I do this one. We'll put it on our last card too. Our pool party is going to go at the bottom to make it look like snow, and then I'm going to do the hat. And I did this one in pool party in white. There. Okay. We'll add our Wink of Stella here in a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to do is, let me put this up here so you guys can still see it. Okay, we're going to add our designer series paper to our Pacific Point. And we can go ahead and adhere that to, to the card base. And I'm just centering in. I always check, look inside and see, make sure I'm putting it on the right side because we already stamped in there. And your border is going to be a little bit bigger. I will say I did find this layout. Whoops, I got some glue there. I found this layout on, I think it was Pinterest. I saw this layout and I thought it was really cute. And I can't remember, I'm not sure if she did this snowman or not, but I know there was a snowman. She might have. I don't remember. I did not write down where I saw this. So if you were original creator of this, thank you for sharing so much. Okay, so now we're going to just put dimensionals on our snowman. And no, I have not put the Wink of Stella on yet. I'm going to do that last thing. Or second to last, I should say. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that on. And I'm going to show you a trick for our Let It Snow. All of a sudden, I look out my window, leaves are blowing everywhere. It's gotten windy. So I'm just centering it on these three sides. Okay, put it down. Now, on our snowman, I want it to come to be the same height. So I know, so on your, when you have the Let It Snow, flip it over on your right-hand side, you're going to put 2 dimensionals. But on your left-hand side, you're going to put a strip of adhesive on there. Because if you just put the dimensionals, it would not be adhering to the white piece, and we want to make sure it stays. So then what I did was, again, there was no real rhyme or reason. I just thought, oh, that looks good. That's where I'll put it. And so that's where I put it. Okay, so now we're going to go in and do our Wink of Stella. So bring out your last card so we can do that one too. So I went in and I did his hat, a little bit on the snowflakes and around his face. And I did the snow and a little tree. And then on our last card, I did the hat. But this is where I was telling you, be careful you're not touching the red. So I'm going to brush it off just to make sure I didn't touch red. When I go in here, I want to be careful that I'm not going on the red. I just touched it a little bit, so clean my brush. Because that red will bleed and it will turn your snowman pink. Unless you want a pink snowman, then you're good. There. Okay, so there we have that one done. We'll put that off to the side. Okay, so now we need to add our snowflakes. So take them off here. I put one over here in the corner. And then I put 2 on the Let It Snow. When you're adhering to embellishments like this, you want to make sure that you're doing it in odds. So do 1, 3, 5, like that. You always want to make sure you're doing it in the odds because it's more pleasing to the eye. And that's the same thing in decorating. You always do it in odds. Okay, so let me grab out, and that's your last card. How cool is that? So let me bring out our projects, and then I have something quick to show you after we go through these. So we have, this one was our first one. And I'd love to know what you guys thought of our projects today. And there are the 4 cards we made today. I hope you enjoyed it, but wait, I have something to show you. So on December 8th, I believe it is, I am having my Christmas gift card class. I am doing that one online, and I'm doing it in person on December 9th. So I wanted to give you a sneak peek of the cards that I'm going to be doing. This is one of them. And then your gift card goes right here. Oops, here, let me move these so you guys can see those. I can lay them out so you can see them. And I will have a blog post Wednesday about this class coming up. I love them all, but the first one and the third one are my favorites. Well, thank you. Oh, thank you, Judy. Thank you, Pam. So this was the first one. And you open it up and your gift card is right here. The second one we're going to do is, now I will tell you, I did not design the layouts. I designed the projects, but the layouts I did get from online all over different places. Oh, thank you, Rosalind. I'm so glad you like them. And this is our second one. And your gift card's going to go right here. You see that? The gift card will slide in there. And then our third one is an easy one. This is, I made just, and it's going to pop up and your gift card will go right here. And then you slide this belly band right on. And then this card, this is a fun card. Look at this. How cool is that? It's a present. You open up and the gift card goes right in here. Isn't that cute? I love that. When I saw this one, I'm like, oh, I got to make that one. And then our fifth one, we will be making 5, but our fifth one's a surprise. So I do not have that one made yet. So, but that is going to be a fun surprise for all of you. I don't have the materials yet to make that one. So I can't show it to you because I don't have it. Okay, slide in there. There we go. Get that even there. So those are 4 of the cards, and I'm going to be making one more. Like I said, it's going to be a surprise. And this class is actually one of my more inexpensive classes. This class is only $15. Now, I will tell you, I used 2 stamp sets with this. I used Warm Hugs, and I also used Perfectly Plaid, but I also designed these so that if you don't have those stamp sets, you can use your own stamp sets. So it's whatever works for you. If you don't have them and you want to order them with the class, you are more than welcome. And like I said, I will have this all out on Wednesday on my blog at stampandstrapper.com for all the details. And I hope you will join me for this class. I think it's going to be a fun class. And thank you so much for joining me today. If you guys could please share this, I would really appreciate it. And you guys have a great Saturday. And I probably won't be seeing you, so have a happy Thanksgiving. And I'm very thankful for each and every one of you. Love you. Mwah. Bye-bye. And there you go.